Hello, listeners. Today's episode is a good one. We start with baseball maven Edwin Nolan back in the studio to discuss the past 2 weeks of the baseball season. Then we open the old baseball dictionary to discuss the term golden sombrero. And then finally, we explore the career of Hall of Fame second baseman Bill Mazeroski. So you're going to want to keep listening. And for this episode, I have a special friend, besides Edwin, of course, joining us tonight. For my birthday, I got a bobblehead, and it's Mr. Met. Great gift from my wife and producer, Brooke. I'm still not a Mets fan, but I am definitely a fan of Mr. Met and his wife, Jan. So I'm going to put Mr. Met down. He's going to give me some coaching throughout the program. Well, as I mentioned, we opened today's show with Edwin joining us. Hey, Edwin.
Hey, Jerry.
Well, we're going to look back on the past 2 weeks in the baseball season since our last visit together. But the last time we were like two old guys sitting on the porch, rocking away and chatting about baseball in very slow drawls. Brooke, as a producer, wants quick, wants lean, mean, to quote the singer Lato, real big energy. And so she's going to help out. We're really going to get like 30 seconds to discuss each division, and she is going to ding us with a bell in case we go over. So the pressure's on, Edwin. Are you up for the challenge?
All right, we'll give it a try.
All right, we're going to go around the horn, and I am going to start with the AL East. The Boston Massacre occurred, firing, Red Sox manager Alex Cora and 5 other coaches. Was it too early? I think, in my opinion, I'm not a Cora fan, but this really falls on Chief Baseball Officer Craig Breslow. I'm sorry, but the Sox have responded back with 3 wins in a row. Rays are streaking too with 5 wins in a row, and a big surprise after some initial doubts. I really like this Yankees team. Rice and Judge, 21 combined homers. Cole and Rodon coming back soon. Cam Schlittler, Max Fried, some great pitching. All right. Hey, I didn't even get dinged. I made it.
Yeah, it takes us to the AL Central.
Yes, Edwin.
Quite the pillow fight could be a term, but Tigers, the early surprise leader here, tied at the top with Cleveland. Kansas City sitting down at the bottom. What's happening with that young core? Is it just going to take them a little bit longer to get started? Who knows? But really looking for them to make a surge. We'll see how that one shakes out.
We're quick. All right, over to the AL West. Edwin, you got AL West too.
Yeah, AL West, the Athletics, the townless, cityless Athletics sitting at the top of the division. They have a negative run differential, so let's see how long this actually lasts, but it's a great story to start the year. My beloved Astros sitting down at the bottom of the division. I don't think that's going to last. I look for them to make a surge, and then, right there in the middle, everybody's jockeying for position.
Fantastic. So now let's go to the National League East, and I will start with the National League East. Hey, Cora wasn't the only fired manager this week. Rob Thompson, the Phillies manager, was fired, and bench coach Don Mattingly, Yankees great, gets another chance to helm a team after not so great Marlins and Phillies managing. Many thought Cora might go to the Phillies, but turns out, and he may have been asked, there's rumors, but they decided to go to Mattingly too. Rob Thompson, a great singer of Matchbox 20, apparently didn't have the team during the Phils' recent loss. They, along with the Mets, are the bottom dwellers of the league, 10.5 games behind. Braves seem like they're running away confidently with this division. It's early, but a lot of wins.
I think it's Rob Thomas, by the way.
Yes, for Matchbox 20, of course. Not Rob Thompson.
That would have been interesting.
Edwin, NL Central. Me.
Oh,
no,
NL
Jerry,
Central
NL
is you.
Yes, the Centrals in both leagues are the tightest divisions. They're both 3.5 games separating out all the teams. After 10 straight wins, the Cubs have dropped 3 straight against the big boy Dodgers and Padres. The Reds are still number 1. Exciting to watch. Also, the Padres, kind of in the middle, but a great 1-2. Paul Skeens and, Braxton Ashcroft. I am impressed with him. O'Neal Cruz is raking. Don't sleep on those battling Bucks. And Harry Styles is engaged to Zoe Kravitz. I'll use some entertainment news for my extra time.
NL West, the Dodgers. Yeah. NL West, the Dodgers are the Dodgers. They may be better this year than they were last year, and that's saying a lot, considering they won the World Championship last year. the Padres are right there on their heels. They're not going to make it easy for the Dodgers. They've got a good team. Arizona Diamondbacks, don't sleep on them. With Corbin Carroll, they've got some real good hitters that can keep up with that division. And then San Francisco, probably not going to be there this year, but it'll be interesting to see them with their new manager. Poor Colorado, still rebuilding.
Always. Whew. Man, we did it in time. Edwin.
You made it.
With the pressure on. Oh, man, I think Brooke really likes the power of the bell.
Yeah, right under the wire.
Good work, guys.
And from current baseball, now we're going to open with a look into the baseball lexicon, as I mentioned. Sometimes we open these episodes with a dive into a cool term. Certainly one, if you don't know already, that can add zest to your parties. Edwin, you need some zest to your parties, right?
Absolutely. Can't wait.
Well, it is a great phrase, the golden sombrero. And it's a very easy definition. The golden sombrero is simply when a batter strikes out 4 times in a game. It stems from the term hat trick, which is often used in hockey, among other soccer too, for scoring 3 goals. But trivia alert, America listeners may not know this, but it first applied to taking 3 consecutive wickets in cricket. And after this occurred, H.H. Stevenson was awarded the feat as fans chipped in and bought him a hat. Well, the term hat trick sometimes has been used for 3 strikeouts. That was far after cricket or hockey. But since the sombrero is a bigger hat, the term golden sombrero was used for the ignominious act of striking out 4 times in a game. When did this start? Well, the Dixon's Baseball Dictionary mentions it was first used by a Chicago Cubs first baseman, Leon Durham, in 1984. But far less official terms than the golden sombrero would be the platinum sombrero for 5 strikeouts and the titanium sombrero for 6 strikeouts. Happily uncommon. Now, Edwin, I'll ask you a trivia question. Do you know what Major League Baseball player currently holds the career record for golden sombreros over the course of his career?
I do not. It's probably a Yankee.
He is currently a Yankee. It is Giancarlo Stanton with 30 career golden sombreros.
Giancarlo, but he's got such a nice butt.
Yes, Brooke has always appreciated the tookus of Giancarlo, but he does sometimes wave at pitches, gets that magic golden sombrero. But now that our podcast has descended into discussing players' derrieres, let's start the episode.
Hello and welcome to Fungos and Fastballs, the podcast of baseball history and trivia. I'm your host, Jerry Dines. Let's jump into today's episode. Today's episode focuses on one of the greatest defensive second basemen of all times. You can do that, Brooke. You can say one of the greatest. It's not like other words you can't compare, like final or unique or pregnant. You can't be more pregnant.
I guess not, but the greatest is superlative.
Yes, but it is now grammatically correct. I looked it up. And he is one of the greatest second basemen, but yet it took him 23 years to get into the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. I'm talking about Bill Mazeroski, who sadly passed away just 2 months ago on February 2nd. Today we celebrate his life and his career spent entirely with the Pittsburgh Pirates from 1956 to 1972. Maz was indeed one of the best all-time defensive players, winning a then record 8 Gold Gloves, which is a record until surpassed by Ryne Sandberg's 9. In fact, Mazeroski, though, still holds the MLB record for most career double plays turned by a second baseman. Now, it's ironic that as an outstanding defensive player, that he should really primarily be associated with an offensive play. Not offensive, offensive. In fact, it is one of the most renowned plays in baseball history. His Game 7 walk-off home run in the 1960 World Series against the New York Yankees. That ranks on Sports Illustrated's 2016 list of 100 greatest moments in sport history. Not just baseball moments, all sports. It's pretty impressive. It's the second baseball moment on the list at number 8. The higher Jackie Robinson's debut in 1947, breaking the color barrier, rightfully ranks above Mazeroski. You want to guess, Brooke, what the number 1 greatest sports moment in history, according to SI?
Baseball history.
No, all of sports history.
Yeah, sports history. Oh, gosh. Maybe something with Muhammad Ali or, how about, wasn't it like Secretariat wins the Triple Crown?
Well, those were big moments.
Yeah.
No, it was the 1980 Miracle on Ice.
Oh, of
where
course.
the amateur U.S. team beat the Soviet Union in ice hockey. Well, back to Mazeroski. He was born in Wheeling, West Virginia, and his father, Louis, actually was a prime baseball prospect, highly regarded, but his career was derailed by a foot injury in a coal mining accident. His father drank subsequently, but he still was able to introduce Bill to baseball and did not want his son following him in the coal mine. Maz's baseball skills...
I'm sorry, Maz? This is his official nickname, or is this what you're just calling him?
No, it's official. Sometimes he was called the Glove because of his defensive skills, but Maz is, yeah. I mean,
Very
he and I, have a special relationship as someone who's researched him for a podcast. But Maz was impressive when he was younger. In 8th grade, he was actually playing with a bunch of grown coal miners in a local league. He turned down college scholarships to play pro bowl and was signed at age 17 by the Pittsburgh Pirates. Made the majors just 2 years later at 19. We mentioned Jackie Robinson before. Instrumental to Jackie's entry into the major leagues was the belief and work of the Dodgers general manager, Branch Rickey, who really does deserve an episode at some point.
He's already there. He's in the digital notebook.
He's on the digital notebook. Because Branch Rickey, also came up on the World War II Cardinals episode with Jordan Dove, because Rickey was a general manager for the Cardinals, then the Dodgers, but after that, he became general manager of the Pirates.
Yes, 6 degrees of fungos and fastballs.
It's all connected, all our episodes.
I think I really only need to memorize like 10 names.
If you listen to all our episodes, you will have the entirety of baseball history after our whole run.
After our whole run.
But Branch Rickey left the Dodgers, became GM of the Pirates in the early 50s, and suggested after seeing Maz playing in the minors a switch from the shortstop that he had played up to that point to second base. Starting in 1956, Mazeroski spent his entire 17-year career, as I said, at second base with the Pirates. He played in 2 of their World Series, 1960 and 1971. Now, this was a big era for the Pirates. Greats like Roberto Clemente, shortstop Dick Groat, who also won the MVP in 1960, and pitcher Vern Law, who won the Cy Young that year. Now, trivia alert. The Cy Young, given annually to the best pitcher in each league.
Wait a minute. Each league. So there are 2 Cy Young awards.
There are currently 2 Cy Youngs, correct.
Okay.
One for the American and one for the National League. But for the award's first 11 years until 1966, it was only given to one pitcher in all of the Major League Baseball, both leagues.
Oh, okay.
Which made Vern Law's achievement even more impressive. Now, it was those 1960s Pirates that was killer that season. The year before, the Pirates finished 4th in the National League. But the next year, the battling Bucks just slapped. The kids are still using that slang, right?
Slapped. Maybe it's making a comeback.
I don't know. Did it ever go? Who knows? So the Pirates had a 95-59 record, and they won the National League by 7 games.
So you mentioned the battling Bucks. Because Pirates, I guess Buccaneers, is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Got it.
Exactly. Not like the Milwaukee Bucks with the K with the horns. These are Pirates with the patch.
With the patch, yes,
Yeah.
and the puffy shirts.
And the puffy shirts.
Arr.
I don't want to be a pirate. This Pirates team evoked the hardworking, non-flashy attitude that fit blue-collar Pittsburgh so well. Well, the Pirates' David, in quotes, would match up against that era's Goliath that was the New York Yankees. This was the Yankees of Mantle and Berra, Whitey Ford, Roger Maris. The Yankees of this photo back here. See? We got Maris, Berra, Mantle. That era. How dominating were those 1950s Yankees? Well, they were in 8 of the decade's World Series, and they won 6 of them. Even as a Yankees fan myself, I might have slightly gotten sick of all those wins. I'm certain every other non-Yankees fans in the 50s did.
Yeah.
And you can email us and tell us. By contrast, Pittsburgh had not won a World Series since 1925.
Oh.
So quite the difference.
Yes.
So in that World Series, Pittsburgh jumped up to a Game 1 win, 6-4, and Mazeroski hit a home run.
So was he a home run hitter? Like, was this expected of him?
No, not really at all. I mean,
Oh.
he had a little pop, but he never hit over 19 home runs. And that season in 1960, he had only had 11.
11?
Yeah. And those, the fact that he was not a home run hitter, a power hitter, really counted against him, as we'll see, for Hall of Fame consideration. To Maz's credit, Pittsburgh's Forbes Field was a very deep field. It was not conducive for the home team hitting home runs. The next two games, the Yankees blew the Pirates out, 16-3 and 10-0.
Oh, ouch.
A scrappy Pittsburgh won Game 4 and 5 at Yankee Stadium in closer matchups.
So that they won him in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
Wow. That's and what were the scores of these two games? I'm at the edge of my seats compared to what the Yankees did to the Pirates.
Yeah, I mean, Game 4 was 3-2.
Oh.
Game 5 was 5-2.
Oh, tight games.
Then the Yankees came back in Game 6 at Forbes Field with another blowout, 12-0, to tie the series 3-all. In that series, the Yankees scored a total of 55 runs. Now, that still is the most runs scored by one team in a World Series.
Wow.
And yet it was tied 3-3, which brings up Game 7 at Forbes Field, again in Pittsburgh, a game that baseball writer George Will once called the greatest game of all time. We'll have to do a ranking one day. Of what we think
What
it
we
is.
think? Oh,
Yeah.
that's going to be a lot of YouTube videos to watch.
Because I rate compared to George Will. Although I'm not the political commentator, yes. But it was a bad. Then Game 7 was a back and forth game, 4 lead changes. The Pirates were ahead 4-0.
Okay.
But then the Yankees scored a run in the 5th and 4 runs in the 6th.
Oh.
So
Okay.
they were 5-4. They were ahead.
Okay.
They added 2 on in the 8th. Yankees are ahead 7-4. Doesn't look
In the
very
8th.
hopeful.
Okay.
Yeah, it does not look very hopeful for the Pirates. But this is why they play 9 innings. At the bottom of the 8th, the Pirates scored 5 runs.
5 runs.
Yes.
Oh, that pitcher for the Yankees, that must have.
So
not good.
they were leading 9-7 at that time. And then with someone on base, I don't remember who offhand, but Mickey Mantle then tied it up in the 9th, 9-9.
In the 9th, 9-9.
A lot of nines.
Wow, that's a good scoreboard. I couldn't imagine being there. It's stressful just even hearing
Yeah,
this.
just with the back and forth.
9th inning, 9-9.
So already a very exciting game.
Yeah.
Well, the bottom of the night, who
Okay.
bats first? Bill Mazeroski, right?
Right, which we said he's not a home run hitter.
Not really a home run hitter.
So-
And he actually said later that he forgot he was even up next. So pitcher Ralph Terry
Okay.
threw a high fastball. Now, Maz liked the high fastball.
Right.
That was just fine with him. Yankees catcher at the time, Johnny Blanchard, called it a slider that forgot to slide. Maz hit the long ball to left field where Yogi Berra just watched it go over that 406-foot fence. Now, you might be saying,
Yogi Berra.
the catcher in left field?
What?
Yes, Yogi, that Hall of Fame catcher, did preserve his knees later in the career by playing some outfield and left field at that juncture of his career.
Got it. Well, good thing he didn't mess it up and lose the game, so it's just a home run. That's not his fault.
Well, Mazeroski said he touched second, he saw the ump signal homer, and he didn't remember his feet touching the ground after that. And later, he said in several interviews, he said all he could think of is, we beat the Yankees, we beat them, we beat the damn Yankees.
Oh, we'll get censored for that.
I know.
I might have to bleep it.
Yeah, they that's how they were known in those days. Nobody
Yes.
calls them that these days.
No, I'm sure not.
So the ball was found in the nearby park by a 14-year-old boy.
Oh.
He found a police officer. The police officer realized what he had, and they brought it back to the park.
Right.
They took pictures for the press, and Maz said that the boy could keep it. Sadly, it was later lost in a neighborhood game. So imagine having this.
No.
You lose it in a little
and he's
street
still
game.
playing with it? You think it would have been put up somewhere this day and age. Wow.
Well, trivia alert. Despite Mazeroski's great play throughout the series and that final homer, the MVP of the World Series was not Mazeroski. In fact, it wasn't even a Pirate. It was a Yankee. Second baseman Bobby Richardson. It's still the only World Series MVP ever to come from the losing team.
Oh, fascinating. I did not know that.
And trivia alert again. 2 in a row.
Okay.
When you watch that home run footage, you are watching it courtesy of singer Bing Crosby. Yes, the White Christmas crooner. He was part owner of the Pittsburgh Pirates at that time. He was too nervous to watch the TV broadcast, and he arranged to have it taped. He chose to listen to the radio broadcast instead. Later on, he watched it once, tucked it away in his wine cellar. It was discovered in 2009 after Crosby's death and was restored.
Wow, that's neat. That's a neat story.
Yeah, that's a great trivia.
Yeah,
Baseball
yeah.
history and trivia.
It is.
But as I mentioned before, despite this, Mazeroski really was not known as much for his offense. He had a 299 on base percentage, 260 career average, 138 home runs.
138. Well, that is not much, considering I looked up that Ohtani hit 153 home runs over the past 3 seasons. Now, I know that's Ohtani, but Babe Ruth would average 49 every season. So he's really just known for his 1 home run.
Well, and his tremendous defense.
Well, let's talk about
because
that.
at second base, he was stellar.
Yeah.
As I mentioned before, he was nicknamed the Glove. He had a quick pivot on double plays. Teammates noted he used a flatter, smaller glove instead of the deeper bushel basket glove. Really kind of almost like an old baseball glove, like an really old school baseball glove, because he didn't want the ball to get caught in the webbing. He would quickly rebound the ball off the heel of his hand to the palm so he could throw. And people, everybody interviewed said, it was too quick to see.
Yeah, I watched a couple videos of him doing this because it was mesmerizing. And he said the ball would come into his glove and it almost never touched his glove. He was already putting it in his other hand to throw it to first base. And one of his coaches recorded it on time-lapse photography and said it took about 0.4 seconds for him to get the ball into his glove and get it out of the glove to the first baseman. And it blows my mind.
Yeah,
Just
that's how
phenomenal.
incredible at the time that his coach is like, I've got to do this on time lapse to time this.
And
he was fast.
When they interview him, he talks about, he's like, it's just what I did. I practiced it over and over, and that's what was natural to me, which makes a great player when you have those natural abilities that make you a better player.
Well, again, his 1707 double plays is still a major league record from a second baseman. He led the National League in double plays 8 consecutive years, then an MLB record. And he recorded 100-plus double plays 11 times, which was an MLB record. Wow. He set the National League record for a second baseman in career games, putouts, and assists. Put out it's a specific defensive stat, and it's kind of what it sounds like. A player can get a put out by performing an out. He can catch a fly ball. He can tag a runner. He can step on a base for a force out. There are a couple of other ways too, but those are the big 3.
So it's really a get out.
Yeah, like the movie.
No, he got him out. How about it got out?
Like an Amityville horror, get out. No, it's a put out, you are performing the act of getting someone out directly, right? Not assisting.
I get it.
Right.
Thank you.
Clear as mud. Well, he was also tremendously quick on his feet. He had a great sense of positioning at the base. He would plant himself by pointing his toe towards first, bending his knee to avoid people sliding into him. That didn't stop people from sliding into him. This was the time of violent slides, cleats up slides. It was a different era. And Maz's legs were constantly being spiked, playing often in pain. But he was seldom knocked on his keister either. And people taking him on with a slide often found themselves on the losing end.
I saw in a video, there was a quote from a player saying, "Don't slide into number 9 because you're going to be the one who'll be sorry." And another player called him a telephone pole. When you slid into him, he just didn't budge at all. And another guy said that any guys who slid into him, they were the ones limping off the field.
Yeah, he was a tough player.
He protected his base.
But eventually time and injuries did limit him. He would appear in the Pirates' 1971 World Series win, but really only had one at bat. After limping through the next season.
Literally.
After limping through in 72, he would retire. But without those offensive numbers, I mentioned earlier, he was passed up by the Baseball Hall of Fame. In 15 years, he never got more than 42% of the vote. We've said this before, you need 75% of the vote. After that, it was turned over to the Veterans Committee. It took several years, but he was finally inducted in 2001. And at the time, there were some sports commentators that felt that was a mistake.
Yeah, he's such a gentle soul. When you see him on interviews, he's so kind to anyone who interviews him. Imagine being asked the same question over and over again. And when he was older in his age, people would say, I'm sure you're asked this a million times. And people would say, are you tired of telling this story? And he would always say, no. He said, it could have gone the other way. And I imagine I'd have to tell that story all the time. I get to tell a great story. And he talks about how after the game, Pittsburgh went crazy. And he says in a good way, but the bars were overrun. Drinks were being served out on the streets. Pittsburgh was so full of joy after that game. And he was so proud that he could give that to the city. Even when his Hall of Fame induction, his speech, he had he started talking and he broke down in tears. And same thing when his statue was revealed. He just broke down in tears. And we're finding this more and more as I'm getting to learn this, listeners. These players that we're focusing on, they have all been such just truly good people. And the humility that they have, it's I don't know, it touches my heart. It touches my heart. So I thank Jerry for the people he's playing. I'm getting nervous when we're going to hit the real jerk of a guy.
We'll have to pick a person who's not so good. Yeah. Well, with his incredible defense and that iconic moment, that home run in Game 7, and with Maz's kind, humble spirit, as Brooke mentioned, of course he belongs in Cooperstown. We're glad he's in there. Yes. So that wraps up today's episode. Thanks always to Brooke.
You're welcome.
And especially thanks to my shout out to my daughter Morgan in the St. Louis area, who assured me she'd be listening. And we're always happy you're listening. We hope you'll keep listening. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. We're on video now on Spotify and YouTube. So hope you'll listen and watch, maybe do both separately for the numbers. Heading back to the locker room, this is Jerry Dines in Fungos and Fastballs.